Let's do a review of counting and subdivisions. What do we say when we count the second 16th note? We say E. What do we say on the fourth 16th note? We say What do we say on the third 16th note? We say and. What do we say on the first 16th note? We say 1, or whatever beat number it is. What do we say on the fourth 16th note? What do we say on the second 16th note? E. What do we say on the third 16th note? And. What do we say on the first 16th note? 1. Unless you're on beat 2, and then it'll be 2. Unless you're on beat 3, it's 3. So whatever the beat number is, but for right now, we'll say 1. So let's clap and count these. Ready? Go. 1, E, and Let's do them as a tie. Ready? Go. 1, E, and Once again, you are supposed to be clapping and counting these using 2 fingers while you're doing the Edpuzzle. Like this. 1, E, and saying the counts. That's the only way you're going to remember these. So what is the equivalent of 4 16th notes tied together? The equivalent is quarter note. Let's clap and count the quarter note. Ready? Go. 1, E, and And let me zoom in a little more so you can see clear. And we have 3 16th notes. Let's clap and count the 3. Ready? Go. 1, E, and. Now, let's tie the 3. Ready? Go. 1, E, and. What is the equivalent to 3 tied 16th notes? 3 16th notes is a dotted eighth. Let's clap and count the dotted eighth. Ready? Go. 1, E, and. Let's do 2 16th notes. Ready? Go. 1, E. Let's tie the 2 16th notes. There's a tie there. Ready? Go. 1, E. What is the equivalent of 2 tied 16th notes? 2 tied 16th notes is the same as an 8th note. Ready? Go. 1, E. Let's do 1 16th note. Ready? Go. 1. What note equals 1 16th note? 1 16th note equals a 16th note. Ready? Go. 1. So one thing to note, it doesn't matter how far apart they are, they're still the same. You can have these 2 notes a mile apart and they're still the same amount of beats. So let's start with the first note. What kind of note is this? This is a quarter note. So you're going to now tell me the counts. What would you be counting on this note? You would count 1, E, and Let's clap and count. Ready? Go. 1, E, and Let's go to the next note. What would you count on this note? You will count 2. Let's clap it and say 2. Ready? Go. 2. What about the next 16th note? What do we count there? We're going to count E. Ready? Go. E. What kind of note is this? This is an 8th note because it has 1 beam. What are we going to count on the 8th note? We're going to count and because it equals 2 16ths. and 2/16. Ready? Go. And let's start from the beginning up to here. Ready? Go. 1E and 2E and What kind of note is this? This is an eighth note because it has one beam. What do we count on this note? We're going to count 3E. 3E because it equals 2/16. Ready? Go. 3E. What do we count on the next eighth note? We're going to count and because it equals 2/16. And ready? Go. And let's clap and count from the quarter note up to the 16th, to the eighth notes. Ready? Go. 1E and 2E and 3E and What kind of note is this? This is a dotted eighth note. How many 16ths are in a dotted eighth? There are 3 16ths on a dotted eighth. What do we count on this? We're going to count 4E and. See how that equals 3/16? 4E and. Let's clap and count. Ready? Go. 4E and. What kind of note is this? Since this has 2 beams, it's a 16th note. What do we count on the last 16th note? We count Let's do that. Ready? Go. Or you go duh because of the D from the and. Let's clap count the whole thing. Ready? Go. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and What kind of note is this? This is a 16th note because it has 2 beams. What do we count on the first 16th note? We count it as 1 because it's 1/16 long. Ready? Go. 1. So let's slide these over some more so you can see better. What kind of note is this? This is an eighth note because it has 1 beam. And I'm going to ask you these questions later about the beams. You should know that. How many 16ths are in an eighth note? There are 2 16ths in an eighth note. What do we count on this eighth note? We count E and. E and because it's 2 16ths. Ready? Go. E and. What about the next 16th note? What do you count? Since there's 1/16 and a 16th note, you're going to count it as Ready? Go. Let's clap and count the whole thing from here to here. Ready? Go. 1 E and See that? Pretty simple. What kind of note is this? Since it has 2 beams, this is a 16th note. What do we count on this 16th note? We count 2 because this is just 1/16 note. We say the word 2. Ready? Go. 2. Next 16th. What do we count on that 16th? We count E because it's 1/16 long. Ready? Go. E. What about this note? What kind of note is that? This is an eighth note because it has 1 beam. How many 16ths in an eighth note? There are 2 16ths in an eighth note. So how do you count this? It's counted as and 2 16ths. Ready? Go. And let's clap and count this card. The 2E and ready? Go. 2E and See that? Some people think, well, there's a space between here, so they're going to go 2E and that is not correct because there is no rest here. Remember I said it doesn't matter how far the notes are, they could be 2 miles apart. This note could be in Salem, and it's still going to be 2, E, and let's clap a count from the beginning up to here. Ready? Go. 1, E, and 2, E, and What kind of note is this? This is the quarter note. Notice the quarter note doesn't have any beams across the top. It just has a stem. How many 16th notes are in a quarter note? There are 4 16ths in a quarter note. What do we count on this quarter note? We count 3, E, and That's 4 16ths. 3, E, and Let's clap and count. Ready? Go. 3, E, and Let's do the whole thing from the beginning. Ready? Go. 1, E, and 2, E. Sorry, we'll do it again from the beginning. Ready? Go. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and We have an eighth note. How many 16ths in an eighth? 2. What do we count on this eighth note? We're going to count 4E, because 4E is 2 16th notes. What do we count on this eighth note? We count and because there are 2 16ths in an eighth. And let's clap and count this first eighth note. Ready? Go. 4E. Let's do the second one. Ready? Go. And let's do the whole 4-beat pattern. Ready? Go. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and See that? Let's make a little change in the pattern. So we're going to slide this quarter note down here, slide this here, slide this here. We're going to add more notes to this. Slide it over some more. So, what kind of note is this? Since it has 2 flags, it's a 16th note. What do we count on the 16th note? We just go 1, because it's 1 16th long. Ready? Go. 1. What kind of note is this? This is a dotted eighth, because there's a dot there, and it has 1 beam. How many 16ths in a dotted eighth? 3 16ths in a dotted eighth. What is the count that goes on this? E and That's 3 16ths. Do that. E and let's clap and count just this dotted eighth note. Ready? Go. E and Let's put this card together. Ready? Go. 1 E and What kind of note is this? This is a 16th note. How many 16th notes are in a 16th note? There is 1 16th note and a 16th note. What count goes there? 2. Let's clap count this note. Ready? Go. 2. Here's an 8th note. What counts go on the 8th note? E and, because remember 8th note equals 2 16ths? E and. Let's clap and count this 8th note. Ready? Go. E and. What about this 16th note? What count goes there? Let's do that. Ready? Go. Let's clap and count just this card from 2. Ready? Go. 2 E and Let's clap and count from the beginning. Ready? Go. 1 E and 2 E and Let's go to the third card. How many 16ths are in a 16th? There is 1/16 and a 16th. So what count goes on the 16th note? 3. Ready, go. 3. What count or counts go on this 16th note? E. Ready, go. E. What kind of note is this? This is an 8th note. How many 16th notes are in an 8th note? There are 2 16ths in an 8th note. So what do we count on this 8th note? And because it's 2 16ths. Ready, go. And How many beams are on an 8th note? There is 1 beam on an 8th note. How many beams are on a 16th note? 2 beams on a 16th note. So let's clap and count this third card. Ready, go. 3, E, and Let's clap and count the first 3 cards all together. Ready, go. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and What about the 4th card? What kind of note is this? This is a quarter note. How many 16ths are in a quarter note? There are 4 16ths in a quarter note. So what do we count on this last card? We count it as 4, E, and 4 16th notes. Do that. 4, E, and Let's clap and count it. Ready, go. 4, E, and Let's clap and count the whole thing. Ready, go. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and let's go backwards. Ready, go. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and How many beams are on a quarter note? A quarter note has no beams. There are no beams across there. What kind of note is this? This first note? This first note is an 8th note. How many 16ths in an 8th note? 2 16ths. How do we count this 8th note? We count it as 1 E because it equals 2 16ths. Let's clap and count that. Ready, go. 1 E. What count goes on the 16th note? And, because it equals 1/16. Do that. Ready, go. And. What count goes on this 16th note? Ready, go. Let's clap and count the first card. Ready, go. 1, E, and Let's go to the next one. What kind of note is this? Since it has 2 flags, it's a 16th. How many 16th notes are in a 16th note? There is 1 16th note in a 16th note. So what do we count on this note? We say 2. Ready, go. 2. Here's a dotted 8th note. How many 16ths are in a dotted 8th note? 3 16ths in a dotted 8th note. What do we count on this dotted 8th note? We're going to count E and 3 16th notes. Try that. Ready, go. E and Let's clap and count the third card. Ready, go. 2, E, and Let's clap and count the first and the second cards. Ready, go. 1, E, and 2, E, and We're on the third card now. What do we count on this 16th note? We count 3. Ready, go. 3. How many 16ths in an 8th? There are 2 16ths in an 8th. Remember, this 8th has 1 beam. What do we count on that 8th note? We count E and, because see, E and is 2 16th notes. Ready, go. E and. What kind of note is this? It's a 16th note. What do we count on this 16th note? We count because the 16th note equals 1 16th note. Let's clap and count. Ready? Go. Up. Let's clap and count the third chord from 3. Ready? Go. 3, E, and D. Let's clap and count the second chord. Ready? Go. 2, E, and D. Let's clap and count the first chord. Ready? Go. 1, E, and D. Let's clap and count the first 3 chords together. Ready? Go. 1, E, and D. 2, E, and D. 3, E, and D. And you're never going to hear me say this enough. The people who are actually counting out loud with this video are the ones who are learning this the best, the easiest. The ones who don't count out loud take longer to memorize all these. You learn by repetitive actions. So let's go to the fourth chord. What do we count on the 16th note? We count 4. What do we count on the 16th note? We count E, which is also 1/16th note. What do we count on this 8th note? Since an 8th note equals 2/16ths, we're going to count and 2/16ths. Ready? Go. 4, E, and let's do it again. Ready? Go. 4, E, and let's clap count the third chord. Ready? Go. 3, E, and And like I said, if you're in a class full of students doing it as Edpuzzles, you'll go 3, E, and Let's go to the second card. Ready? Go. 2, E, and Let's go to the first card. Ready? Go. 1, E, and Let's put it all together. Ready? Go. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and Let's go backwards. Ready? Go. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and So before you go, how many beams are on a quarter note? A quarter note has no beams, and it looks like this. How many beams are on an 8th note? An 8th note has 1 beam, and it looks like this. How many beams are on a 16th note? 16th note has 2 beams. And how many flags are on a 16th note? 16th note has 2 flags, just like it has 2 beams. How many beams on an 8th? How many flags on an 8th note? 1. 1 flag, just like it has 1 beam.